Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 24 for Talkin Tunes with Dr. Tony. Happy Father's Day, everyone. I got to spend the weekend with both my grown children and my wonderful granddaughter, and my wife bought me a very thoughtful present, which I'm wearing, which includes several significant dates. So as you can see, it has the date we were married, it has the date of my first child, the date of my first grandchild, and also the date that I was born. So this is a pretty cool shirt. I've never seen it before, but I will be wearing it from time to time. So today I'm going to reveal my all-time favorite male vocalist. This was a very tough decision, and I changed my mind several times. As it turns out, my top 3 vocalists did not make the Rolling Stone 200 poll, nor did I find them mentioned in any poll, which was very interesting and surprising. This must truly mean I marched to the beat of a different drummer, or maybe a different singer. Before I tell you about my favorite male vocalist, I want to identify my 12 honorable mentions. I could have had 50, but I need to be practical. I looked at 4 different ranking listings on the internet, including Rolling Stone's Top 200, and as with my top 3, 4 of my top 12 honorable mentions were not in any of these polls. I'm referring to, first of all, jazz great Joe Williams, then the R&B singer Lou Rawls, and then 2 country singers, Vince Gill and Randy Travis. Joe Williams sang with Count Basie and Lionel Hampton and is known for Every Day I Have the Blues and All Right, Okay, You Win. Lou Rawls was a great singer, releasing some 60 albums and selling more than 40 million records. He was a 3-time Grammy winner. I love Love Is a Hurtin' Thing and Dead End Street Monologue. Vince Gill really needs no introduction. He was a lead singer for Pure Prairie League for 3 years and was a solo artist for many years, and then Vince joined the Eagles in 2017 after Glenn Frey died. My favorite memory of Vince Gill is singing Surf's Up along with Jimmy Webb and David Crosby. Surf's Up may be my favorite Beach Boys song, and Vince sang this in a tribute to Brian Wilson's it's a DVD. So Vince's range is amazing during that song. And as for Randy Travis, he is my favorite country singer. My favorite is his 25th anniversary album called Anniversary Celebration. Randy is no longer able to sing due to his 2013 stroke. I'm thankful that I saw him in concert during his prime, and I highly prize the tone of his voice. Mel Torme is another of my honorable mentions. He's ranked number 4 in Rate Your Music and is nicknamed the Velvet Fog. Mel Torme started out in 1943 with Chico Marx's big band. He's often compared to Ella Fitzgerald for his bebop style and scat singing. Next up is Ian Gillan, ranked 66 in UDiscover's Top 100 Rock Singers. You probably know that Ian Gillan is from Deep Purple, but he's also on the studio recording of Jesus Christ Superstar, playing Jesus. Ian Gillan is an amazing screamer, but also has a lovely voice. At age 77, he's still performing with Deep Purple. Check out Child in Time from the In Rock album, and of course, Space Truckin' and Smoke on the Water from Machine Head. Then we come to Brian Wilson. He's ranked number 57 in the Rolling Stone poll. His work on Pet Sounds and on a few of the albums that preceded and followed Pet Sounds puts him in the upper echelon of singers. But after 1971, his voice was never the same due to his abusive lifestyle. The remainder of the honorable mentions charted in 2 or more of the ranking list. Roy Orbison was number 71 in Rolling Stone, number 39 in You Discover, and number 64 in Rate Your Music. As a solo artist, Roy had so many great songs. In Dreams, Pretty Woman, Only the Lonely, and then as a member of the Traveling Wilburys, before he died young at age 52 of a heart attack. Perhaps he exerted himself too much at that stage of his career. Frank Sinatra was number 19 in Rolling Stone's poll, number 5 in Smooth Radio, and number 10 in Rate Your Music. What can you say about the chairman of the board? Then we have Nat King Cole, ranked number 4 in Smooth and number 9 in Rate Your Music. He may have the greatest voice ever. Nat King Cole died really young at age 45. So he had so many great songs though, for example, Unforgettable and Mona Lisa. Stevie Wonder was number 7 in the Rolling Stone poll and 13 in Smooth Radio. He is my number 5, and I love his ballads the best. My 2 favorites are Lately and the song Visions. He's an undeniable genius, who has been missing in action since 2005 in terms of releasing any new studio albums. Despite his young age of 73, you would think he would still be performing or recording. And then there is Freddie Mercury, number 1 in Smooth Radio and number 14 in Rolling Stone. There's really not too much to say about him. When he left, Queen ceased to exist despite efforts from Paul Rodgers and Adam Lambert. And his story is a tragic story and passing much too young. Now that we've talked about my 12 honorable mentions, you're probably wondering who could possibly be number 1 if it's not Freddie Mercury, Stevie Wonder, or Nat King Cole. It's Harry Nilsson, who recorded under the name of Nilsson. He's my number 1 because of the tonal quality of his voice, his range, and his song selection, which many were originals. His life was also tragic. Like Brian Wilson, his voice later in his career did not compare to earlier days. Nilsson had a 3.5 octave range, and he was successful based on his studio work, as he rarely performed live. As part of a heavy drinking lifestyle, Nilsson burst a vocal cord in 1973 by overusing his voice. His most productive years were between 1969 and 1973, recording The Puppy Song, I Guess the Lord Must Be in New York City, Me and My Arrow, Without You, Coconut, Jump Into the Fire, Turn On Your Radio, Remember, and of course, Everybody's Talking, the theme song from the movie Midnight Cowboy. If you've not taken a deep dive into the work of Harry Nilsson, I highly recommend him. After all, he is my number 1 all-time male vocalist. So I'll talk to you next time when I talk about my number 2 female vocalist. I hope everybody's doing great. And again, happy Father's Day.